So I'm gonna introduce you guys to a very special guy. This is Jerry Banfield. Jerry Banfield. Let's see if I can open a new tab here, and we'll open up Jerry's account here. So you can see Jerry's rocking it. All right. He may have botted all those subscribers, but this is his main channel. He also has like a bunch of subsequent other channels, like with crypto. He's got a music channel, a gaming, his music with lyrics, which we're gonna get into, just his random thoughts, and then his autobiography. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna show you the video on how I got introduced to Jerry. Jerry is a character. All right. He he does this positive affirmation rap. He also does some like some EDM type music, which was actually not as bad as you would think. But let's just go into here.
For all y'all struggling with your mental health, I want you to know I found a way out. The song is for you. Let me hear you say with me now. I am mental health. I am mental health. I am mental health. I am mental health. Say it with me now. I am mental health. I am mental health. I was in the dark, feeling all alone. Struggle with my mind, my peace was gone. Then I saw the light, began to confess. More than my thoughts and my soul, I'm blessed. I'm at peace, now I found my way. In control of my life each and every day. I used to deny the pain in my head, but I faced my fears, chose to heal instead. I'm enjoying life with each breath I take. I love my life for my own sake. I've learned that my mind could be reprogrammed. I'm not just my thoughts, we're psychological exam. I'm in control of my life steering wheel. My mental health, my wealth is a big deal. I am mental health. I am mental health. I am mental health. I am mental health.
Jerry has a lot of rapping ability. Okay. This is Jerry. So this is how I was introduced to this guy. He's quite a character, as you can see. We're gonna get into some I'm getting Jesus Christ is my name. Oh god, yes. You know what, he's growing on me. You know, he's pretty good at rapping, as you can tell.
Say with me now. I am mental health. Stay healthy. I'm no longer trapped by anxiety's chain. Depression.
I'm trying to find it. He has a Tupac tribute somewhere that you've got to see, where it's kind of like half monologue, half rap. Is this what the kids call Sissy Hypno? Well, let me tell you a little bit about Jerry. Jerry was actually a Slim Tardy. Jerry was actually a police officer. Okay, so let's get into his other videos here. I want you to see this. So this is a little more.
My friends, I was a police officer, and these are my stories as chapter 7 of my Jerry Banfield autobiography that I hope you will love and enjoy. So I was a police officer from 2007 to 2009 in Columbia, South Carolina. I had first decided I wanted to be a police officer in 2004 when I was a sophomore, finishing my sophomore year of college. I hope this will be useful if you just wonder what it was like being a police officer, or if you're thinking about being a police officer, to hear my experience. I grew up in a military family where my mother was in the Army and we moved all over the world. I was a military brat, and I didn't really think too much about my future, and kind of autopilot just decided I'd be an engineer. In the Army, I went off to ROTC and started studying engineering. But after 2 years in college studying engineering, I'm grateful I realized that's not my...
He studied engineering. Like, I will give it to him. Like, I studied engineering, okay? Engineering sucks. Okay, look, I can technically, like on a programmatic level, understand code and understand architectures and stuff like that, and write things and develop things. Like, I've got the mental capacity for that. The fact that you actually have to go through and do the mathematics at like oh god, like beyond even calc and trig, like I got into logarithms and all that type of stuff, and understanding like mathematical algorithms and all that it's tough, okay? And this is general engineering. Like, so everybody's got to take like these kind of classes, like engineering 101 and shit. This is see if he ever went to these sports illegals. Teddy gets it.
My passion. And when the Iraq war started, I did feel very strongly that I did not want to go to Iraq, but I still felt like I wanted to serve in some way. I remember talking with my mother during my after sophomore year of college.
Are you really surprised that he talked to this mom?
College between junior year and thinking about what I would change my major
There's not another woman in this story other than the mother. You know that going into this, right?
to. And I wanted to change my major to criminal justice because I had a lot of criminal thinking, probably from my...
You know what? Just want to play that.
criminal justice because I had a lot of criminal thinking, probably...
I don't think this guy thinks about the words he says before he says them. He has the words and they immediately go from development to out in the world. Like there's no filter process. If I got pulled over, I would just accept my ticket to get his eyes off me. I have mental health. Oh, God.
From my upbringing and watching a bunch of so-called justified violence or action movies, and my mind just thought crime was very interesting. And
I think crime is interesting. I wanted to be a thief.
That criminal justice would be something fun. I would love learning about the law. I was considering going to law school, so I changed my major in 2004. Did criminal justice for the last 2 years of college at the University of South Carolina, and during my senior year.
I want to know if he duplicated this picture in the background thinking that we wouldn't notice, and then he like purposely misaligns it too. Like you could just it doesn't take that much. Or just expand. I don't know, man. There's a million ways to make this background better. I have to watch both of you or just staring me down, okay? Where are your meds, Joker? Like 20 miles. Just please give me the ticket.
I took the LSAT to go to law school. I wasn't happy with my score, and it was good enough to go to law school. But I also saw I wasn't that passionate about going to law.
So, okay. Keep in mind, this guy. I'm going to keep it playing. I'm going to pull something up and pull it back.
Although I did end up marrying an attorney years later. But I realized, like, I don't want to go to law school. And what I would really like to do is be a police officer. I thought that sounded like it would be fun. I hated the idea of having a desk job, a 9-to-5, and a boring life. I really liked action. I thought it'd be fun to do things like car chases and be in dangerous situations. And with my alcoholism, I was already putting myself not in car chases, but in dangerous enough situations that I really thought being a police officer would be a fun job. And it was sometimes. I've never had a regular office job for long.
Yes, he is the definition of Seinfeld. Okay, I got to show you this. All right. You will know immediately which guy I'm thinking about. It would be him as a lawyer, okay? Here.
Courtroom of Judge Morty Durham Jr.
This is not actually like a Rick and Morty thing, so I'm not scamming anything. This was actually a presentation that went on.
Here. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is his courtroom. This is Judge Morty. 60-year-old inmate Rick Allen is being accused of committing murder of a fellow inmate at Georgia Penitentiary. Mr. Allen claims that he is being set up.
By the way, this is actually based on a true case. I'm just going to play a little bit.
And that his lawyer is requesting sexual favors in exchange for proper...
A true court transcript and true court story, and they applied it. So this was originally done black and white, and was a fan thing that went on at one of the Comic-Con type events. And they did this, and somebody has now colorized it, fully animated it, and everything else. I love this. You ever want a good laugh, you got to check this out.
Legal advice.
Okay, okay, Mr. Allen.
Right.
I believe that your case was going to be going to trial not this Monday, but the following Monday. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay, I tell you, if you need to tell me something, I'll let you come up here to the podium so you can speak into the microphone and I can hear you.
Yes, the attorney here, I'm wanting to fire him.
Uh-huh.
And, I don't feel like he's doing any...
Who are you going to hire?
I'm not going to hire nobody. I'm going to try to get a different public defender.
There isn't. You have a right to an attorney.
This lawyer has...
You don't have a right to a specific attorney.
This lawyer has made sexual advances on me. He's misrepresenting my case. He told me if I wanted him to do a good job, I had to let him give me oral sex. He's had doctors at Central State Hospital put a
He's had doctors at Central State Hospital?
Put a false diagnosis on me.
Okay. I know Mr. Wyatt pretty well, and I don't think he has the ability to make doctors at Central State do anything.
Well, they did it, and he's the one that had me sit down there.
Well, they may have done it, but I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
All right, well, he won't give me the discovery. There's things in discovery he's supposed to give me the incident and told me that it was the discovery.
Okay, now I'll just let you guess which one's Jerry.
So that's how I got to decide I wanted to be a police officer. And what made things difficult, though, is I didn't try marijuana.
Tell me, though, he doesn't look just like the lawyer.
They're alternating.
Just no hair and no glasses. It's like real life. I don't know. I think he looks like him.
Until I was a junior in college. And then the last time I smoked was when I was a senior. And most police departments were not looking to hire somebody straight out of college with a bachelor's in criminal justice with no experience and who just smoked marijuana recently. So this set me back severely for being a police officer, and the only related job I could find that would hire me to get some good experience to prepare to be a police officer was corrections. And the Department of Juvenile Justice for under 18 or 18 and under that are incarcerated for usually very serious.
They took this man who could not fit any other qualification and said, stick him with the kids. What makes it difficult is I didn't try marijuana until college. He's saying he should have gotten a drug habit earlier. Yes.
Crimes, things like murder, etc. They were desperate for correction officers. So I started off by after college feeling lost for a few months, trying these door-to-door sales, medical insurance billing, random jobs
move out of the house.
From a temp agency.
Jerry, get out of the house. I'm sick of you. You don't clean up. You don't do the dishes. You don't vacuum. You don't do anything. Get out of the house, Jerry. Go find a job. Go find a girlfriend, Jerry.
Absolutely sucked, and I consistently quit them within a week. And then I applied to be a correction officer. They hired me right away. And I was a correction officer from November 2006 to June 2007. That was, being a correction officer was very difficult the first few months. I was scared in there, and I was acting tough, of course, because
Can you imagine this guy acting tough? He makes it sound like he needed experience. You haven't committed enough crime. Well, he said he had an interest in crime. Oh man, I haven't cared about weed for 20 years. I hate to see Cosmic Kramer. Oh shit. I made him eat the loaf. Oh shit. I want to see this guy in his element.
Couldn't act scared, but like everybody in there was scared and acting tough. And the adults, if they got online, you just could beat them or use physical force to get them in line. But with the kids, one of my coworkers in corrections beat up a kid after the kids nearly beat his partner to death the night before. And then one of my coworkers got in a fight with a kid, and he got arrested and taken out of work in a police car. So it was a brutal environment being in corrections. And yet I had my sights set firmly on being a police officer. And I remember...
And he wanted to make sure he never dropped the soap. He was scared when he was separated by metal bars. How's he supposed to arrest the dude? Please, sir. Please, just let me put the cuffs on you, man. Look, I'll leave them slightly loose. That way they don't hurt, okay? I'll even put them in front.
Remember the kids that were locked up in there laughing at me that, you know, you're never going to get
Turns to the guy after he arrests him. Are we okay to go now?
to be a police officer. Look at you. These people in here aren't going anywhere. And I'm like, I don't care what these other people are doing in here. I know where I'm going. And I applied to as whatever departments I thought would hire me. A lot of the city and the county, because I'd smoked marijuana so recently, still wouldn't hire me even over a year and nearly 2 years. But I found the Department of Mental Health, which had a police department to serve all the state mental health facilities. They were desperate to hire police officers. So I was able to get a job there. They didn't eat. I had a
Wait, did you guys hear that?
all the state mental health facilities. They were desperate to hire police officers. So I was able to get a job there.
This guy was not only hired to work with children, he then built up enough background in 7 months to go work with the mentally ill. This. Oh my fucking god. They're like, you know what, dude? You survived. You survived juvie. It's time to level up, Jerry. Jerry, we're sending you into the crazy town. It's okay. We think you'll get along. Just don't mix up your name tags, okay? I'm out of the Department of Mental Health. And my entire world changed. Yeah, but he's on the wrong side of it.
They didn't eat. I had a clean background. So as far as they were concerned, clean background, they didn't ask a whole lot more questions than, you know.
Were you previously housed here? Nope. Hired.
Doing a background check and some of the basic stuff. Like there was no polygraph. There, you know, they asked about, you know, things like drugs and stuff, but I hadn't used any at that point in like a year. So they were cool with it. And I got hired at the Department of Mental Health as a state certified law enforcement officer, which I was really excited about. And I went to the police academy in July, August 2007.
I can't believe this shit.
And
I
that
seriously
was
fucking can't.
I had fun in the police academy. It wasn't
I'm
that
sure you
hard,
did.
except for the driving test in the police academy was one of the hardest tests I've ever taken in my whole life, because I've always had done good at school and books
Always had
and
done
reading,
good at
and I
school.
knew
Holy shit. Polygraph is a hell of a drug. Yeah. Now you really understand the whole origin of I Am Mental Health. Look at he admitted to marijuana use. Hi, I'm here to apply and I have done drugs last year. Wait, what? This is Daniel Larson's dad.
knew I could just study and pass any test, and it had always worked. But for the driving test, I couldn't really practice doing the driving because you needed to be somewhere where you could do things like, you know, get the car up to like 60 miles, floor it, go up to 60 miles an hour, go off road, bring it back on road, slam on the brakes, slide through a turn. You want to talk about parallel parking? I mean, you had 2 minutes to go around this whole course, and the first thing you had to do was back into a tight parking spot with cones and parallel parking. If you hit any of the cones, you failed. We had a week to work on that, but a surprisingly small amount of time to practice. And one of my best memories from the police academy is
This guy just gave a 1-star review to the police academy.
they gave you 3 times, 3
It's all an
tries to
empty
pass the
parking
road
lot,
course.
Exactly. In a city. What kind of, wait, no, even further, what kind of mental health police officer is going off-road? If they're off, let them go. They're going back to the wild. It's okay. They'll come back when they're hungry.
And if you failed, you got kicked out of the academy and you had to be recycled and come do it all over again.
Oh my
so
God.
that the thought of that really sucked in my mind. And I was so stressed out about the driving test. And I had failed every practice attempt that we had done. And then the day of the test came on Friday. And the very first, I failed the first attempt. My second attempt, I hit a cone almost immediately, failing. But that ironically gave me the opportunity to just drive the course as a practice run with no stress. I even lied to myself, and I'm like, I didn't knock that cone down.
Exactly. Like, I've literally done way worse. Oh boy, you had to get up to 60 and back down, huh? Try running at like top gear 150 on a highway and then having to slow down real quick. Chasing down wolves. They got Camden Gerard Davis. Oh my god, he's free. Quick, break out the Jeep. We gotta go get him. Poor Mama Max hears about this.
I'm gonna try and pass this. So I ripped through the course with a little more freedom. Like, hey, I already failed. We're gonna rip through this as hard as I can. And then the third time, this has happened a few times in my life. The third time I went to take the test, I just had this like calmness set over me. And I'm like, I got this. And I nailed it. I drove like I had never driven before.
I want to know how
went
many
through the whole
drugs he
thing.
did
The
before
track
he
was
did.
wet because it rained that day, which made it a little harder. And there were other people way better at it than me, and there were a good number of people who failed it too. And I pulled in, got the right in the time that you had to get to finish it. And God, that was one of the happiest I've ever been after passing any test in my life. I was so proud of myself and so grateful for all the help that people had given me. There was a guy that was so good at
It's a set of skills he will never in life ever use again.
driving that course. He failed it because he came in under the time. And they're like, you came in too fast, so we failed you. That was crazy. I did really well at the firearms there. On the firearms training, even though all I had done is bought one little 22 pistol and used it on the range a few times.
Oh, thank
My
God it was
experience
on the
playing
range.
video games paid off greatly in the police academy. And I was one of the top shooters on the firearms because, hey, to me, shooting a pistol in a video game was just about like shooting a pistol in real life. So I did very well with that. The hardest thing that happened in the police academy was
This
my
guy is
wife,
not
or my
real.
wife, my first serious girlfriend from college got tired of me being at the police academy all week, not wanting to go hang out with her. And then when I was off, all I wanted to do was play video games and chill at my place, have her over for a minute, but get out so I can play video games the rest of the night. So she got bored.
Oh, fuck. Tell me this is not the guy. That's when I got raped. Tell me this is not the guy to replace Tony. I found Tony's replacement, okay? I do real well with guns. It's point and click. Oh my god. Just recorded notes. Oh fuck.
with me and cheated with me at a party with some guy, and that was really a stressful weekend. At a party with some guy, play video games the rest of the night. So she got bored with me and cheated with me at a party with some guy, and that was.
So where'd the cheating story come in? I didn't even hear that.
And chill at my place, have her over for a minute, but get out so I can play video games the rest of the night. So she got bored with me and cheated with me at a party with some guy, and that was really a stressful weekend when that happened. But
No, this guy is not fucking real. Could you imagine if he met up with DVDR? He really is gonna end up at the strip club. He's gonna end up kissing a stripper. It's like getting a job at police dispatch. You spend time in a COD lobby. Oh my god. They never found his body, so I was in the clear. Did I say I was really good at guns?
after that, I rocked the rest of the police academy, and then I got my police
Once I had that bitch gone, I was good.
academy certification. I realized maybe I'll do a whole video about the police academy at some point, but we don't want to get stuck just in the police academy for this one. So
Oh
I
my
graduated
God.
the police academy in the end of 2007, went to work for the Department of Mental Health.
We've made it 1 6-month span. that was a 6-month span. So we had the JV arc lasted till like early 2007, and then the police academy took up the most of the rest of 2007.
And they treated me so well. And I don't, some of the
You don't fucking say, man. You don't fucking say. Really? You know, they treated me like I lived there.
and they treated me so well. And I don't, some of the people who told me they were scared of me for some reason, maybe because
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I wonder why they would be scared of you with facial expressions like that. Look at that fucking picture. Who's gonna be afraid of you? Only fucking everyone ever. Oh my God.
I wasn't the typical officer who worked there in terms of, you know, I was fairly fresh out of college. I'd been in corrections before. I was very smart, and I don't know, people really liked me there. They gave me all kinds of days off. They gave me nice shifts to work. They were really nice to me there.
They gave me a bed, a small room. You know, it even got to be where I met with the nurses regularly, and they would talk to me about things. Freshly 37. They gave me rubber bullets. Oh my God. Plot twist. They have a special needs division where they put all the county officers. Oh my God. Anytime I hear about that shit, I just think about the fucking Now Recording episode with the pedophiles in heaven chasing the cherubs. You know he's a cherub chaser. I'm kidding. Allegedly.
And that job was about as dangerous as corrections, but I loved getting the action. So the typical calls you'd have there were, you know, I was a transport officer, so someone
Oh my God. Oh shit. I'm gonna try and pull something up. I'll probably get an auto claim on this, but you guys, I'm where is what I'm looking for? Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that. I was trying to find a specific thing. So there's wait. Yeah. This is a little violent, but you guys get it. So this is his glorified job right here.
All right, let's go.
Here. I just see this. Oh, can you imagine? This guy in this situation. That's enough violence. I can't have too much violence on stream. But can you imagine that guy in that situation? Ice-T needs to tell him he's gay. Oh my God. The traffic stop. I totally called this 20 minutes ago. I totally see him walking around pulling like a $50 ticket on someone's car and they flip out. Oh man. Michael Myers would not want him behind him.
One who was
a
judge had sent to a mental health facility, and they were confined there, you know, against their will indefinitely until a doctor made a determination. My job was to pick these people up and by myself transport them wherever they needed to go. If there was a really bad one, or when you were first starting out in training, you'd go with a partner. But most of the time I was there, I'd go, you know, pick up like a kid who'd murdered somebody in one of the facilities. And
is he working with children again? Like, did I just miss a whole plot point to this story? I thought he got away from the kids. How did he get back to the kids? And now they're the mentally ill kids. He's Down syndrome Batman.
You know, then I'd put him in the back of my car in restraints and drive him to where he needed to go. And it was my responsibility to...
Surprisingly soft-spoken. Oh my God. It's in Mr. Mental Health to 5150 people.
Make sure he didn't escape when I took him where he needed to go and that he got back safely. I remember one of the kids I picked up, he, you know, it was amazing how much of a human being these people were. Like, you could see the only difference between like them and me is that I was raised in a house with love where people took care of me and were present. And these kids were often raised in brutal households that severely mistreated them. And then at some
Surprisingly, neither household had any mental health.
point, they had acted out, they had taken revenge, or they had paid forward what had been done to them. And like one of the stories I remember that was nice, I took this kid from Charleston, South Carolina.
And I took him to the death penalty. He was great all the way on the whole car ride. You know, he's quiet, didn't make much noise, sulked a little, but, you know, we closed the window, never heard it, and enjoyed some oldies all the way up the coast.
At a facility to some doctor or attorney or something, some professional he needed to see. And I take him in the office, and then I'm like...
Can you imagine it? On the way to inpatient needs up front. I am mental health. Oh, man. That's... You know what? This man might have saved many lives by just driving people insane.
Sitting outside the office, you know, make sure he doesn't like bust out and run off, because if he does, that's on me. And then I get him
for his last dinner before lethal injection.
Back in the car, and he's hungry.
Fuck.
So I'm like, what do you want to eat? You know, there was no like food provided for him or anything.
No.
And I just took him through McDonald's, and
No. There's no way.
God, that kid was so happy that I...
What did he let him play in the ball pit? Like, he even got a toy.
I took him to McDonald's. I mean, I'm like, this... At the time, it didn't pay that much, but I'm like, I can spare $5 to get this kid a few things off the dollar menu, you know? And it was cool. Like, he was so happy to just have some simple act of kindness like that his way. And to me, that's kind of sad also. It's like, how bad are people being treated where it's going to McDonald's is like some, you know, the best thing that's ever happened in a long time. The typical calls there, besides doing transports like that, were there was a lot of downtime and a lot of boredom. Just driving around, nothing happening. I remember one day sitting there thinking when I was on patrol, and the days there'd either be like nothing happen all day, and I'd literally...
This man became some sort of an official officer of the law and expected basically Nakayama Plaza every single day.
Just
or Nakatomi Plaza.
Be parking and walking and on patrol all day and nothing happened. Or like everything would go down. Like I came in one Saturday and I was struggling in my alcoholism at the time. I went out drinking.
You're fucking what, sir? You're fucking what? If he starts going on about Twisted Teas, I'm fucking done. We're cutting the video right here. I'm going the fuck to bed. Like, no. Now I understand the defund the police movement.
The night before and still had a brutal hangover, and I knew I couldn't keep calling out to work because I'd already had to call out to work. So I went in with this hangover. I threw up and then put on my vest and, you know, went in and everything was going down that day. You know, there'd be people in hospitals that had injuries. We need to go wait there with them. And the typical call was you'd have a patient at one of these facilities that would lose it, and they would just start punching nurses, threatening people, assaulting other patients, and they'd put out like, hey, anybody in the area,
that's my job. You can't assault people. That's what I'm here for.
Come help out. We need to sedate this patient. So, you know, you drive over there and go in the unit. Sometimes things would have calmed down before.
He went in as a police officer hungover, smelling of alcohol. Based.
Before you got there. Other times go in and stuff was crazy. I mean, there, you know, you got somebody in there like punch.
You don't say. The people at the mental health facility were crazy. Imagine that. Shocker.
people, and these are often big people too, like, or people who are insane and have just crazy strength.
Did he just make the reference that I think he made? Is he going for the R word strength thing here?
And I hurt my back one time. There was a lady, she's probably 300 pounds. It was me and just another female officer in there. And
This story can go a couple ways. How do we think this is going to end? Do we think somebody's going to come out with a different kind of R word?
the female officer like gets the handcuff on, and this lady's like swinging the handcuff around at us, and I like tackled her and smashed
This guy is joyfully using the hard R. He was allowed, it was a 14-inch dildo.
her into the wall and I strained a muscle in my back doing that and was out for.
Wait, he what? Into a wall?
Tackled her and smashed her into the wall and hurt my.
He has a lot of joy when he's talking about this, which is highly concerning and makes me think that he definitely belonged in the facility, not helping the facility. Oh my god. I can't believe this guy. I didn't watch any of these types of videos. I watched a lot of his music just to make sure the music was okay. I figured based on his music that his other content had to be pretty safe. And mind you, it is. But we desperately need to have Jerry replace Tony. First of all, we'll have a Jerry. Jerry's way better than Tony. Second, this guy is just better than Tony. He literally pulled a Roman Reigns. Smeared the ally instead of the patient. I can see why the Rodney King verdict went the way it did. Dean Ambrosian. Look at this. You can imagine the black dildo in his hand too. Oh, I should make that a GIF.
Officer in there, and the female officer like gets the handcuff on, and this lady's like swinging the handcuff around at us, and I like tackled her and smashed her into the wall and I strained a muscle in my back doing that and was out for a couple of weeks. And but nobody else got her, which was good. So some of these calls would be crazy too. Like they'd have patients in there like hitting people, and I loved it. I loved getting these calls. I hated the.
Oh, I've got to make this the thumbnail. Hold on, I've got to save this for archival. We get another good one. I will save that as well. But oh, it's even got Jerry on the shirt. Bonus. Save as. It was Jerry. Where's my caps lock on? Just be able to find it.
Boring days most of the time. Some days I wanted to relax, but most days I was like hoping a call would go out, and I'd go into the unit and
this man literally viewed work as Thunderdome. I can't believe this fucking dude exists. Holy shit. His website is cheap. It's got links to everything. Oh god. Oh god.
You'd have the nurse with all the Thorazine, and then you'd have like 5 officers trying to, not officers, but like.
I'm okay. I might be pulling this. I don't know. I haven't followed the game lineage, but why do I see this guy operating basically like Max Payne? Like he accidentally gets in the way of the Thorazine and then kind of levels up. It's like a police academy and Tropic Thunder had a crossover. He's got a store. Oh shit. He's probably a super nice person, but he's so unhinged. Look at that though. That's the face of innocence there.
Me and another officer, then like the unit staff, and then
yeah, but think don't go full Jerry. But think of Max Payne unhinged. Like Max Payne meets the Joker.
Some of these patients had like AIDS and all kind of diseases. The nurse would go in there and like stick them with the Thorazine. The patient would like be like out punching, and there's an AIDS needle flying around right next to you. So it's crazy. There are some officers there that, you know, the patient gets stuck with the needle, and then the officer gets stuck with the AIDS needle right afterwards. It was dangerous, and it was
Is this gonna go into like a GoFundMe story? I feel like we're building up to
nasty
that.
sometimes, but I loved it. But I also wanted more pay.
That's so true. All AIDS and diseases. Oh, can you imagine trying to go to a shootout and go? Things didn't go slower.
And I wanted more of a what you'd think of as a real police officer job. And I remember my corp.
He has a cameo. Ooh. Okay, what do you guys think? Should I get a cameo done? I know exactly what I would have said and everything else. I can make things happen.
He thought the University of South Carolina's police department, where the college police department where I went to school, he said that was just like the best police job you can get in Columbia, South Carolina. And that was where I set my sights on, like, I'm going to work there. And he put that idea in my head, and I applied there before, at the same time I applied to mental health. But
This is his lore. This is the backstory. This is how he became Batman. With the force traumatic brain injury before he got hired. $49 for a personal video. Can cause a lot of havoc for $49.
They didn't respond until I'd already gotten my job at mental health. So I called them. I'm like, hey, I already got hired, so too late. And then I applied again after being at the Department of Mental Health for a year.
Those little weak bastards, they barely put up a fight. I just beat the living shit out of them.
And some change. And the University of South Carolina Police Department was very enthusiastic to hire already certified officers, because in South Carolina, the departments paid the police academy to train their officers. So getting an untrained officer with no experience was a significant expense. You're looking at 6 months to a year to get that officer from wherever they, you know, they're no experience to going through.
That is exactly where I'm thinking about going with this, GG.
The police academy, you don't even know.
Unleash the Down syndrome dogs of war. Oh, I could get him going so easy with this.
If they're going to pass it or not, then you need to field train them. So for me, they were enthusiastic to hire me at the University of South Carolina because I already...
Just picture this. Jerry, okay? Message to Tony. Hey, Tony, I hear you're just starting out learning how to do EDM music, and I wanted to be friendly and offer you a few tips on how to make good music without the use of AI. If I threw that in there, oh my God, I'd get assassinated. Without this. Okay, back lore. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know in chat. All right. Tony Hitz and I had a small spat where we went back and forth, and basically I didn't really accuse him of using AI, but I questioned that he possibly used AI in his music. And the spat carried on for literally 2 days. Well, it kind of came to a point where I got pulled into a call in Now Recording's voice chat, and I just was like, hey, Tony, so, and just like kind of going on about like, so you don't use AI in music and all this stuff. Yeah, I basically just was fucking around with him. I never yelled at him, never screamed at him. I drove this man to snap, apparently. And when I say snap, I mean like full blown the rage of 1,000 autists, okay? And like mics were crying, and peaks were being spouted past Everest. Like I don't even know how to explain this. Like I didn't know that you could literally clip as hard as he clipped. I thought he had muted. And come to find out that this guy had been trolled a little heavily for like 30 minutes before I showed up, and then did my little 30 minutes. And oh yeah. Oh God, if we can sit there and say that he can predict the future and the future is 59 and just disprove Tony and just have Tony be like, hey, Tony, you've been off by 1 the whole time. That's why everything's not working in your favor. The truth is 59. And yeah, it's basically I got a strong talking to by a couple people in the community. I spurred out a little and snapped a little back because I felt like it was unfair, but whatever. Past is the past. So I'm not gonna harp on that shit. But yeah, to Jim's point, Tony's basically the community bull cow. If I get him with this guy and start having him do cameos and educating Tony on how to make music and the truth about his predictions are just slightly off, there's a lot of potential here.
He was a state certified officer, which was the same, like statewide jurisdiction, same thing that you were at the campus police department, because the campus was all.
I'm trying to. I think I almost honestly want to say that he was worse than Ross, in my opinion. Because like I seriously thought he muted because he had clipped so long and so hard. I just didn't hear anything. So it's not like it was like and like cutting in and out. He literally went up to a level and sustained the level so long that I thought he had muted it or like was done talking. I didn't realize that he had actually been ultrasonically screeching at me the entire time.
All over it wasn't local, it was a state, because it was all over the state. So they were very enthusiastic to hire me with my mental health experience already certified. And
I actually got that bookmarked. Funny thing about blocks, you can still see the blocked account, they just can't see you.
I remember I was so nervous about doing the polygraph because they give the USCPD gave a lot more detail.
GG, you predicted the future on this one. Got Jim with the fucking Happy Meals. Jesus Christ. We could use this video to prove to Tony that my chat is better than him at predicting the future.
Screening than the Department of Mental Health did. And when I was drinking in college, I did some dumb stuff and, smashed and vandalized some things. And I had done like a third of the things on the undetected crimes. Now, none of the most major stuff like murder or any of that, but I had,
Why do I feel like there was a yet just hiding in there?
A significant amount of undetected crimes. I'd wrecked my car, drunk driving, and therefore I had some tough stuff to navigate through on the polygraph. And I remember watching this show called some TV show where they used a polygraph. It was like Truth or Lie or something. And I remember watching that the night before and being so nervous. And then I woke up the next day.
This man prepped for a poly. Oh my God. Galaxy
Again, just like when I passed that driving test, I had this sense of calm that came over me, which was unusual because
I'm pretty sure that's called psychopathy.
at the time I was rigged. I had a lot of anxiety and I drank a lot of alcohol, but on this day I went to bed, got a good night's sleep, woke up, and I just had this calmness. I'm like, I got this. I got this. And my mind was shockingly calm. And I was in the perfect space internally to navigate the
I don't think these are the words that you want to use when talking about how you took a polygraph test.
Polygraph with the captain who did the polygraph and the undetected crimes. Things like, have you ever wrecked a car?
Tommy, I got a new song. Psychotic break. Yes, he did.
Or something. I managed to kind of, I left the question blank and then asked him how to answer it. I'm like, I bumped my car over a curb before, and would you count that as wrecking a car? He's like, no. I mean, if I told the full story.
This man suckered the he really is a psychopath. Did you guys fucking hear that? Wait a minute. Whoa, saving that one too. It's a pretty good screenshot. That doesn't say unhinged at all. Save as Jerry. Boop.
He's like, no.
Wait.
Or
Okay.
question blank, and then asked him how to things like, have you ever wrecked a car or something? I managed to kind of I left the question blank and then asked him how to answer it. I'm like, I bumped my car over a curb before, and would you count that as wrecking a car? He's like, no. I mean, if I had told the full story, like I was drunk and wrecked my car over a curb at 40 miles an hour at 7 a.m.
This man is a psychopath, and I am here for this. I am so on board for this. Holy shit. Who is better? This man is true psychopathy. Down syndrome dread.
And totaled it. Like, that paints a different picture than, well, I bumped my car over a curb. But I did little things like that to help ease me.
If I accidentally nosed out into the crosswalk, is that considered, like, impeding a pedestrian or vehicular assault or anything like that? No. Now, if I told him the true story of I was high as fuck, higher than giraffe pussy, running down the middle of town at 70 mile an hour, zooted out of my mind, and just ran over old Jake coming out of the bar. I tell you all this to say, I just ripped into your neighbor. Oh my god. I didn't impede the pedestrian. They're already laying on the pavement when I drove over the body.
Me through the polygraph, and I answered all the questions, and I made sure any areas that I kind of felt bad about, I made sure to minimize them.
He is a fucking psychopath.
And I was able to get through the polygraph, and they put me out there with field training, and I loved working at the University of South Carolina Police Department. Except, just like mental health, though, it got really boring. They had a hard time hiring people at USCPD because
they had no AIDS patients to be that on.
A lot of the people wanted...
Turns out they were all healthy, well-adjusted, and behaved.
real action would go to the city or the county police departments. Like, I had friends at those departments, and they had action. I mean, you'd be in car chases, gunfights. Like, they had action. Department of Mental Health had some danger to it, but it was mostly kind of a boring police job, which is why they had a hard time hiring people. And same thing with USCPD. It was a heavily micromanaged, where you have the major come out at 3 in the morning for something relatively minor because of politics and things like that. The USCPD was a very micromanaged police department where there was a lot of attention because it was as a campus police department. So with basically anything you did, at a minimum, you'd have the corporal or the sergeant holding your hand / telling you exactly what to do. And for anything more than a small thing, you'd have the, captain, major, even the head of the department, like, coming out and making decisions. So a lot of people didn't want to work there because...
So basically he was put into a job hurting the mental health and transporting them, occasionally getting them a Happy Meal as their last meal or whatever, letting him play with his ball pit. I'm doing well, Belinda. This guy is completely fucking unhinged. I gave him a Happy Meal. Oh shit. This man is unhinged. He just dove into how he skirted a polygraph.
It didn't, at least when I was there and there was a budget crisis, there wasn't that much action.
All right. I will compare this. Yeah.
Well, okay, no. Okay, so I've looked up.
Okay, so we're comparing this to Tony levels of screeching. I'm gonna give it an honest rating.
The law, both in California and in Massachusetts, where both of them live, it is a 2-party consent state, which means that every single party in the call or recording or conversation has to be privy to the conversation being recorded, and every single person has to consent to it being recorded. And so I told Roz, You live in California. It is illegal to record someone without their knowledge and / or
That's why
consent.
I took it down.
Okay. Right before this. Let's go right before. Okay, it's pretty similar. Let's see. Let's go to not gaming.
Dude, that's racist, bro. That's absolute.
Because I'm a fucking racist, fucking white trash.
Dude,
Oh,
you know what? I could literally knock you out, bro. I could literally knock you out because you're.
Wait. Gotta get some good Tony screeching.
Never said they raped me in my ass. Never fucking said those words.
You're literally fucking hilarious.
This is fucking bitch, dude. Fuck you. Fuck all you Trump supporters, fucking racist pieces of shit. You're all fucking useless.
That's one way to be.
Racist motherfucker, dude.
Hold on. Do you support Biden?
I don't support any fucking person that's racist. I don't give a fuck about anyone that's racist. I don't care about you. Eat a burger and fucking die. Shut the fuck up.
Whoa, that's pretty fucking ableist, Tony.
That's pretty fatphobic. Yeah, fucking ableist over here. Why did we hang out with you?
Yeah, that was fatphobic. What, you don't like fat people?
Probably die from heart disease by the end of the summer.
Yeah, so it came out on Monday?
No, actually,
so you hope people die and you think you're a if they're white or not. Why does it matter? Why are you saying racist white people? You're being racist by generalizing.
Because white people have fucking oppressed fucking black people. You're trying to still fucking oppress black people. You're still trying to call me an
I have no idea when this was. This might be the one from now recording.
No.
Joe, let me correct you here. He also says he wishes that it was legal to shoot white people. So
that's not. Nope. I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
You get called.
Okay, well,
you're fucking
stop calling me white, Tony, because you're really starting to piss me off now.
You're fucking white. Shut up.
That's
racist. By your literally racist. By your standard, you're white, Tony. By your standard, you're white, Tony. By your standard, you're white, Tony.
Isn't this so joyful? Like understanding everything going on here.
Guys, if anybody would know, Tony is from the mountains of Caucasus. He is a Caucasian man.
White racist content posts fake screenshots because he can't beat me in an actual argument.
So who cares?
Owned.
I predict the future.
Your dad should have taught you that.
There we go.
Confirmed. Tony is a racist. We can stop having this argument now.
Yep, I'm not racist. I'm just calling out fucking. I'm just calling out people that say the hard N-word. If you're fucking lighter than me, call me the hard N-word.
Tony, that's colorism. That is a form of racism. We're literally telling you that.
Call me the fucking N-word and act like
you stop being racist, Tony.
Tony, a white racist.
How the fuck are you not racist, dumb bitch?
Well, you're racist too, so quit being the pot calling the kettle black.
Admit it you're fucking racist.
I'm not racist, so I don't have anything to admit.
All right, Tony. I'm racist. Boom. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you want us to say?
Why don't you keep shouting into the void, loser? Why don't you keep shouting and screaming about things and getting angry? Why don't you go throw back more vodka? And while you're at it, why don't you down a bottle of aspirin while you do it?
Oh,
God almighty.
Just fucking.
I get more pussy than you, Joe, because you definitely haven't gotten laid in a while, so.
How would you know?
Yeah, I bet you.
I know.
Oh my god, he drives a lesbian car? Why are you driving? Got long hair, that's why he's.
I'm a coward. I'm confronting you.
Yeah, you won't say it again.
Word.
Hey guys, real cool. I think he.
People.
I mean, I'm.
There's no evidence of anything happening right now that anyone's talking.
I want to hear
Ember's not gonna fuck you, Joe.
He gets like super
awesome. Name one person in this VC that fuck. Nice fucking try with that one. Fucking stupid. That is the most dumbest.
Half of your
I don't like racist white people. Of course I.
45 minutes plus, bro. You are literally being verbally abusive to someone who did not engage.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
You literally threatened rape.
You've been yapping since I came in here. Shut up, Tony.
Not real. Fake as fuck. Not real.
Does anybody remember what live stream he brought Sasha into the
about why Tony likes to hit women. I think that's a good idea. And it's
Tony,
gonna get
can
me
you
laughing.
identify for me the person in this call that you're here for? Why are you here? You don't like anyone in this call, so why are you here, Tony?
Because I'm gonna expose you fucking racist motherfuckers making shit up. That's not real.
I'm honestly getting really uncomfortable with how abusive Tony is being towards me right now.
Crying. Let him fucking cry. Tony, did you or did you not hit Sasha?
You fucking suck! You fucking racist!
See, the problem is that that's why it's a little hard to compare, because he's softer on volume than Ross was, but he's still clipping to the point that he's literally cutting in and out. So I don't know. I would give Ross an edge just on like sheer pitch to volume, but Tony's got the psychopathy effect where he can have a normal, and he can talk like this and then literally lose every mental ability and scream and then go back to like literally like within seconds talking. I think
Tony, are you mad?
Yeah, Tony's verbal abuse is just really overwhelming, guys. I'm gonna mute and step away for a minute. I need a break.
Tony, you're digging yourself a deeper hole.
Tony, I
don't remember if he's actually muted or he's going off so much that he's just peaked his mic and everyone thinks he's muted at this point. But yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
And they even discouraged you from proactive policing, which offended me greatly.
I'm just gonna re-chat and let this play for a second.
And other officers there too. So people were consistently leaving to go to the county or to the city for more action. So you get a lot of officers at the department that didn't want a real police job, essentially, that were just trying to work towards retirement. And then there's a lot of micromanaging. You know, you'd have a fire alarm and you'd have like the sergeant and the corporal and 2 or 3 other officers would all be out there. So it was a police job. It wasn't kind of a typical, you know, like being a city or a county or a state trooper or something. And it was good enough for me, though. There was some action, but they tried to keep you out of action also because they looked at it. They essentially wanted to do the minimum to keep the campus safe.
Okay, caught up on chat. Sorry about that. Ross was screechy. Tony flips quickly and just screams. His voice is also lower, so he can't screech. Yeah, that's the thing. It's equal. Yeah. Belinda, I don't know. Basically, this is kind of the situation to give you guys kind of just a filler information. So this is the kind of shit that was going on with Tony the night that I walked in, and just like at this level, kind of like Joe was doing. Like, I didn't scream at him. I didn't call him names. I just was like, Tony, everything you showed me looks like your music is generated through AI. Every program you show me. And then he would go off and he's like, you don't know anything about music. And I'm like, I don't. I already told you that. And just prove it, Tony. And all I said was just prove it like a couple times. And apparently that was enough to everybody in chat. They all got pissed at me, but you know, whatever.
And they figured if there was something more serious going on that wasn't directly on campus, the city or the county or the state trooper should handle that. So, for example,
I'm gonna leave police officer stories here for a second because we got more of this stuff. We've got this because there's 50 minutes of this stuff, and you got to see this.
Remember coming to an Earth and incarnating here. And this is something you can do too.
Oh, yeah.
Because
well, both of these guys make music. You think we'd get another bathtub, Ross? All right, I'll get RTU after this one. This one's pretty quick. It's only a 16-minute video, and I don't even know if we're going to do the whole thing. It makes me think it is. So defensive over it.
We come to Earth, we often accept an intentional memory wipe so that we can start fresh here. After all, if you start...
Do you think we could convince Keemstar to have this guy be the next editor for Skyfire?
Started with all these past life memories and all this other stuff, it'd be like loading a computer up with already full capacity on the hard drive. You couldn't put anything new on it. However, when you start out, you can get a lot of junk programming and malware and viruses in your mind. And I decided at one point, after hearing a lot of other stories, of people who remembered incarnating here, remembered past lives, and I didn't remember. I decided that I wanted to remember and that I would do whatever it took soberly. So I did
He needed at full strength for the rap war. Oh, man.
this without any kind of drugs, alcohol. I'm sober almost 10 years now. I don't believe in taking things like hallucinogens or something to try and get an experience like this. I remembered this completely naturally. And the first intention I set was that I'm going to remember how I got here. Because remembering that you had a life before you came to Earth and had this body makes this life so much easier to navigate.
Tell me he wouldn't just
It allows me to have peace and to remember that I chose the journey here. I wasn't a victim of my parents celebrating my dad winning a race.
No, he did not just say his conception story. This man did not just spill the beans on how he was conceived. No fucking way. No fucking way.
I was conceived by choice. That my parents getting together opened a gateway that I chose to use to enter into this reality. And that's...
This man is giving the whole sermon of spirit to sperm right now. Jesus Christ.
What I remembered. The first I remembered of coming to Earth was just having kind of this feeling. I was walking my dog out at night listening
fucking what?
To some Deadmau5 electronic dance music, and I just had this vision, like not as much like seen with the eyes, but kind of seen in...
Oh, this is all pre-life, Belinda. This is preconception. Just like the tortoise in the hare. Oh, if you don't know the tortoise and the hare shit, you gotta go back and listen to the fucking DVD-R from Nuts to Nuts. Oh, the Jerry Banfield
in the
story.
mind. I had this vision of like being this big fiery bird, like Phoenix, and coming from the sun, which you could think of the sun as like heaven. It's powered by all the souls and spirits and angels hanging around in there, putting out all this light. And then I remember leaving the sun, coming to Earth for an adventure. And I remember just...
I now just got stuck in my head. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship.
kind of that general, feeling of flying in space, being really excited to come to Earth and pick a body. And then I got some more clear memories when I did hypnotherapy. I saw a hypnotherapist.
Could you imagine being a fly on the wall during the hypnotherapy point? Like if they actually did any any recounting of his time serving as the mental health police officer.
Because I was having, my mind was filled with a bunch of these self-harm thoughts that had been programmed into me by my parents and their behaviors and their programming. And
I'm telling you, I found the perfect match. He's gonna reprise his first apartment. Oh shit. You find these in the conspiracy stuff. Belinda, this man, I could get on board with having like the conspiracy theories and stuff like this. Like if this man just had this, but you missed his music. You do not know the beautiful sounds that this man can make.
And then I had reinforced them.
He's just a total package. He even has a crypto channel.
Through the music I listened to, the movies I watched, my own behavior, etc. So at about 2 years sober, I asked my wife about, does she have self-harm thoughts after we have an argument? She said, no, never. And I'm like, well, I do, and I don't want to anymore. I want to be like you. And I knew at this point that
this is like, seriously, I'm not kidding, getting into like a level of psychopathy. Like the fact that he's trying to assimilate and be like everybody else. I don't know, man. I'm worried about this guy. Make Tony sounds instead. Oh man. I don't know. I'm sure that he has gone through the whole different hertz and frequencies and stuff like that. I'm sure he actually considers that in making his music. The thing is, this video is it. It's fine. But the issue is coming after the police video. Jerry McLean. Mental health card at Nakatomi Plus.
I could reprogram my mind because I reprogrammed my mind to stay sober and to not want to drink no matter what was going on. So I knew
do that before the police test.
I can reprogram my mind away from into self-love all the time too. So I asked my wife for suggestions. She said, why don't you go see a counselor? And I said, another one? But this time...
Was that a joke? I'm really thinking this guy is a psychopath. Like, wholeheartedly. Like, he gives off, like I'm not saying he's a creepy individual. It's all the vernacular that he's using is just kind of setting me off here. Like, asking, like, do you have self-harm threats or thoughts after an argument? I do. I want to be like you. Like, I'm sorry. There's a theory that they all change in music.
I had a client who was a hypnotherapist, and I initially started working with him, but he was online. And then I thought it'd be awesome to work with the hypnotherapist in person and go to their office. So I searched for a hypnotherapist.
How do online hypnotherapy sessions work? I don't know. What happens if you lost connection? Are you just stuck? Like, do you have to have like a backup person to restore connection in case like the internet drops out? Like, I have so many questions. So many. Yeah, there's a knife in it.
In my area, and I found a hypnotherapist in my area in St. Petersburg, Florida, Michelle Butler.
He's just sitting in a chair like Neo from the Matrix.
With Butler Hypnotherapy. And
But wait, I misunderstood that. I had to misunderstand that.
In my area, and I found a hypnotherapist in my area in St. Petersburg, Florida, Michelle Butler, with Butler Hypnotherapy.
Bro, don't. God. And you're just putting shit out there like this.
And I came to her and said, look, this is what I want to do. I want to reprogram my mind to love myself. And I want to really enjoy being here.
I feel like he fits in Florida.
Remember, before I went to see the hypnotherapist, I'd already had kind of these visions of coming to Earth, just like walking my dog. But then when I went to see Michelle, and the hypnotherapy, if you've never done hypnotic regression, it's just basically someone talking to you and helping
you. You hit the nail on the head, Belinda. That is literally how do I come back to a man looking and sounding even crazier? Don't worry, we've found I found his conception story.
You relax yourself and you remain conscious at all times. It's not like they're programming you to do stuff. It just helps you get the normal noise that goes on in your own mind out of the way so you can get in there and observe the operating system. All hypnotherapy does is, with your consent, help you in the equivalent of a computer to shut down a bunch of your programs that are running, and then go look around in the command prompt, look around the operating system and see how it's programmed, and then dig around and change stuff in there according to what you want to change. And it also helps some more of these
He's moved psychopathy.exe to the root entirely too quickly.
and experiences come up. Because when your mind is very active and thinking about all this stuff in the beta brain waves, and you're doing, tasks and working, and your conscious mind is engaged in like interacting with the world around you. But
I trust a random hypnotherapist. I just want to leave my system 32. And you're just left in the chair drooling. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit.
and the soul joined. And without any
we missed the joining process. We got to go back a little bit.
On a roller coaster that you don't know exactly how long it's going to last, when you're going to be able to get off, but you don't know exactly what the ride's going to be like. You can look around and see the rest of the world, of course, and you can get an idea of what the ride might be like. But I remember this huge feeling of love and excitement as the body and the soul joined. And without any other distractions, this experience, and this was not something the therapist cued specifically, the therapist cued, remember something that will, help you love yourself at all times. And I remember
this guy channeled being the fastest sperm.
Remembered the moment the soul and the body joined.
Yeah, this guy channeled being the fastest sperm.
So you might ask, well, Jerry, why doesn't everybody have that memory all the time? Well, some people do. Some people do have that memory all the time, but it's not something people often bring up. More than likely, there's somebody in your friend or family group who remembers either that kind of experience or even...
Yeah, exactly, Jim. There's just too much psychopathy that I've already discovered pre this video. Like, if I had watched this video first, I would think that he's like just one of those very spiritual, like in tune kind of people. Like I wouldn't like put him in the basket of crazy. However, having watched the police video, I am very hesitant to put him in the basket, and I'm very much questioning if he built the basket at Baltec. I gotta show Belinda while she's here. We gotta get some music going. We should get music with lyrics. There's the eye health one that I was listening to early. Let's go. These are a month old. Do we want Drop That Bottom or Raincoat? Pinball Wizard. Here, we'll get a good list. The God Mode. We want that. It's got 420 views. I can't break that streak. All right. Just because it's Belinda, I'm gonna do. Oh my fucking level of.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Ma. Sha. Da. 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 Damn. Passion and the fan. Bang. Shut up, me. Oh, me. Shut up, city. Ooh. Happy, one at Chiba, Jenny do the lady do the baby do the swap, put shop a lot of to take your you don't show what love it over size for sheet of 40 scene and have when the jumpy up the la. Oh, you fool. No, you know. La. I'm a fool.
This man's figured out the Teletubby rap.
Ishu, leave
got married. System of a Downs. All systems down is what he is. High Elfin German.
Game or hey, 4K, North K, Torque, Force, Short, War, hey, Work, Nor, hey, Your, hey, Forte, Corte, Forte, Shisho, Ha, Shisho, Ha, Nato, what is in this? Timber to the week, go, Bada, Doop, take, Banner, CK, Like, Tico, Tito, Shike, Like, Funko, Like, Horto. See sock, we talk, modifier, hinton, point fire, brain, some in the warrior, Lipo, sanity, the leapo, in it for the Fico, other on the leapo, ponto, either on the leapo, other on the leapo, leapo.
Declaring. Fatwa. Oh man. Oh, I gotta hear God mode.
She shoot me who in the car, see move she got me la ha on a fiana she go in won't dee finish shoot a scene painting in be ya being June Dina being in a shadow sound being in the winter to the day. Female homo, female comma, memo home, anything ya ho in ho ho ya mo. Jamo tell me what go see no bonnet dana bonnet dana think go dana banner da bada ba na ha ya ha unu hu ha.
This is North Korea. Oh my god. Are they all like this? They can't all be like this. There's crypto. He has a crypto song. I need you guys to see the really quick. There's the Tupac. Yes.
Dear Tupac, I'm one of your biggest fans. I've been listening to your music since '97 when I first heard Changes on the radio. Now I know you had passed then already, but I've been listening to it ever since. It's been 26 years. Almost as long as your whole life was. I've been listening to your music that long. Now
yeah, he's multilingual. You guys are gonna appreciate this thoroughly. This is a mix between spoken word and rap, and there's no prompt between when one begins and the other ends.
Now that I'm a musician, I'm making music every day. I've been thinking about you a lot, and I realized I need to make a song for you, like you made that one, Dear Mr. President, tell me what to do. I'm interested to know about you. What do you think of your life now? Your life had a big impact on me. I listened to almost every song you've ever made and almost all the remixes I could find. Fair exchange, you do me. And if it's worth it, baby, I return the favor. You can call anytime you like, baby, you can call me. Need a thug up in your life. Never find nobody like me. I remember my wife wrote me a card when we were first dating for my birthday. And she put a line from your song in there. I remember staying at the Hyatt, thinking of like, man, I'm at a big suite in the Hyatt, just like Tupac. And I've been thinking since I've been making music, I listen to your music so much. I remember being alone in college, gambling.
What if this man found Mama JF? You're killing me, these balls. Okay, but seriously, what if he found Mama JF and that's lovely wife?
Gambling on poker stars, drinking all night by myself, and I'm banging out to all your songs, No More Pain. I remember when I'd have a hard time, I put that one on. And I'd listen to all the obscure ones too, that like nobody knows.
Do you love that epic Casio keyboard noises?
And I wonder what my life, nobody had heard your songs before, and that you hadn't been born. What would you say to that? Would the world be a better place if you had never made music? I think you would say that it didn't really matter to some degree. That if it wasn't you, somebody else would have done the same thing. And that, while yes, I think some people did lose their life listening to your songs. I think there's people who passed on many drugs. I did sell some alcohol for a little bit. But if you'd have looked at the two of us, you'd have think, how can this guy be one of Tupac's biggest fans? Why at that thing with Biggie now? Both of y'all ended up dead. I wonder if you could do it over again, if you wouldn't start all that drama. I wonder sometimes about your music, because from what I read online, since I didn't get to meet you or ask you any questions, hit him up on, I'm like, oh my God, this is nasty. Like, why would anybody listen to this? This is sick. I wonder how you see your music today. Because if you watch the documentaries, it looks like you just made this music to get money.
The beat dropped.
That a lot of this music was inauthentic that you made. That a lot of people would say you weren't a real thug. You weren't out there drug dealing and gang banging. You were an art student. You were just saying whatever you needed to say to get paid. You were playing for the crowd. Now, yes, I know some of your songs were absolutely real. I love Checkout Time. We gotta go. Be listening to my music 26 years after I pass, which I hope will be in the 2100s. But I hope my music makes the world a better place, lifts people up. As I look back at some of the worst nights of my life, I was listening to your music. Now I know you say that's on you. You chose to listen to my music. And I had a right. I'm sure you. A lot of us all work to make you famous. A lot of my friends in college had never heard a Tupac song. And I introduced them to Tupac.
You're not lying. I was actually going to play some stuff just to give examples, but you know what? Like, his actual mixing skills are pretty fucking funny. Well, not funny. I apologize. But like his mixing is good. Like, music with lyrics. I kind of want to show you like one of his where he actually records him making the music with lyrics. Instrumental. Here. Like, he actually like has skill. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the guy could actually make decent music, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the worst night of my life. That's a popo. Oh shit! You see, I just got on through the editing. Oh my god! This is how poor music is made. Lying to detectives after he goes insane. Yeah. His music making is pretty on point. It's just as like autistic and weird as he is, but oh man. All right. I spent way too much fucking time going over Jerry. But that was so funny. Oh my god.